Everybody, welcome back. I'm the Stretch Professor, and today we're doing episode 2 in our legendary Balthasar Guild campaign using the Steel Faith Overhaul mod as of March 2019. So we are using the cap system here, and we are using all of the balance adjustments up to this point. This is the Festog update with vampire counts. Let's get in here. Okay. So last time we won a couple of cool fights with Balthasar. We're going to be leveling up. After that, we inherited Grunsburg. Thanks again to Adam for the generous donation. As always, I appreciate it. If you'd like to sponsor a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to help you out with that. I can't even potentially do more than one campaign at once. I don't know if I can do much more than 2, maybe 3. But if you have a certain style of play or a certain faction that you would like to see, just let me know. I can also do guides on any factions. I do have a guide for Skaven. I know that Westworld just donated for a great guide on combat, so I'm going to have that coming up too as a 2-part series. One part sort of examining stats and how to tell like how valuable units are relative to other units, and then another one on how to actually micro and control your units in depth in combat to maximize their efficiency. So if you have ideas like that as well, of just a certain guide that you'd like to see, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. More than happy to help you out with that, and we can talk about the donation. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get in here, and also be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content.
It is time.
It'll let you know when I release videos, but it'll also let other people find the channel since I'm still a relatively small channel. Okay, so we talked about all of the skills last time. We kind of have to decide if we want to do the upgraded hounds, which I believe we do. I think we want to do hounds and then probably glittering robe. I think is pretty handy. We don't have a normal glittering robe, no. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. The other choice would be if we want to go for Empire's Finest, which there is an argument for this early on. It does, mostly for the defense, help out a lot with that. Pistol Corps is another one that we might get pretty soon. And we are going to be using a lot of crossbows and handgunners, most likely. And that even affects Outriders, which we'll probably get a little bit of. So that's pretty sweet. I was saying this red tree is not that good. I think that Finest, Pistol Corps, and Imperial Gunnery later on can be pretty good. But we need to get to this blue tree for Lightning Strike and Quartermaster eventually as well. We definitely need Lightning Strike before Chaos shows up. So probably turn 40 or something, maybe in the 30s. So what level would that probably be? And we're going to get these at like level 9. We need to go through these. We're not going to have a lot of wiggle room. We're going to have to get down into this blue tree pretty soon. But I think I definitely want upgraded hounds. This is pretty good too. I mean, extra 10% weapon damage. The problem with that is like a lot of our damage is not going to come from our infantry. Most of it's going to come from our magic and missile units. So I kind of like getting this. Okay. So we'll start with that. To make Balthasar's magic a bit more effective. Okay, so we just took this town. Can't do anything here. Over here, we'll think about what we want to do with this. We could get rid of this building in theory. It's kind of a toss-up, like, because you don't need this building in your tier 3 towns. You can put it in a secondary town, because it maxes out at rank 3. However, it is already there, and the other tension is we need to try to get to this tech as soon as possible, just so we can start getting techs. Balthasar gets an extra 20% on his techs, so he might do this anyways. And those are some pretty good techs, I think. The state stuff. Look over here. Yeah, +2 recruit for infantry is very good. That's missile infantry as well, so that also includes crossbows. Leadership, upkeep reduction for them. And then 10% ammo is pretty good. So that all that stuff is pretty legit. And we just want to once again have something going, right? We don't have any techs going, and I believe that's the only tier 2 tech we can even start. Yes. So we're not going to be able to get another tech for a while. Now, it's possible at Owlheart or Helmgart we could get one of these, but then we're going to have to also use the growth to level it up to tier 2. So I think we're just going to upgrade this, even though it is slot inefficient. In Warhammer 2, they expanded Altdorf's slots to be a 10-slot town instead of just an 8-slot town. I believe in the base game there were no 10-slot towns. So that's something they added with Warhammer 2 with some of the major, like, faction capitals. So we do have more wiggle room here, whereas in Warhammer 1, I believe you would only get 1 slot here. when you get to level 2, so that could be a little bit more of a problem for us, because then we'd have to decide, well, do we want public order, do we want growth, you know, what do we want to do? And then you really couldn't afford to have a training field in your main town, because you needed the other stuff too. But now with a 10 slot town, we get 2 slots here. I think we'll probably be okay. Okay, so we got that. Done this. I don't remember if we looked at diplomacy this turn or not.
Yes.
Taliban land seems pretty chill.
Welcome, my countrymen.
They don't like us a ton.
I don't
but
agree. All right.
we're just going to try to kill most
Greetings
of
on behalf of the Empire. Now, what brings you
We
here?
do need to try to get
Sigma's will. By
see how much it is
Sigma's
to
will,
pay them.
come in peace.
I don't think I'm that rich right now. We are going to have to buy a lot of extra units, which reminds me we need to hire. What do we want is the question here. I think we are going to need a bit more of a front line. We can't get crossbowmen yet. All we can get are these militia, which are okay, but they're not as good of a front line as swordsmen. These have more armor, and they have not that much more defense, honestly. These have 34 defense. These have 40, but still 6 more defense is a thing. So we just need a couple more frontliners. Maybe we just go with 1, 2,
I will.
3. Now these do require a bit more micro to deal with, and they can't. Oh, they can fire while running. Okay. These are just like such a good little bargain. It's a shame they took away their upgrades. Like, they used to be able to benefit from the crossbow upgrade tree and the swords upgrade tree. So that made them really, really cost effective. That's probably why they nerfed it. Okay, so we'll go with that. So we could pay to get a little bit of extra favor with them. I would love to confederate with them eventually. We do need a confederation to unlock Carl, and they look like the most likely one. Unless we get a desperation confederation from something like Wortbad once the vampires start killing them. Or Averheim. We do have a non-aggro with Nuln as well. We'd have to break that non-aggro eventually if we want to go for them. I would like to get that early, but we can't break that for 10 turns. Ostermark, Oslin, those people don't like us very much. We got treaties with Taliban clans, so that's not happening. These guys, we could get trade with them. Could break our treaty with Sterling, and they would like that too. So maybe we can work our way in with that.
Surely an agreement will be reached.
I want to trade. Midland. Marienburg really doesn't like us, so we're probably gonna have to kill Marienburg. They have a really sweet port too. So I'd like to get on board with that soon.
Who calls?
I mean, I haven't really tried this strategy. We could try working with Midland. Usually they betray you. Yeah, it's going down quite a bit randomly. Like, why is it going down 20, you know? 22.
Welcome, my countrymen.
I mean, we could trade with them to get a little bit of extra cash. Fighting to the north is such a pain in the butt. You have to start dealing with Norska and Chaos. But they do have really good towns. Nah, I want that chapter house early. There's a couple of... There's like a Panther chapter house or something where you can get some pretty decent horses. From what I remember, they are pretty fast. Okay, so we're not going to have a lot of trade partners until we start finding some dwarves. Maybe some high elves eventually. Okay, so we're hiring here. We've got that. We've got our techs. Can't do that. Offices. Buildings. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on with Empire, which is pretty cool that you have to kind of keep up with. If you like a good blend of interesting combat and lots of fairly nuanced and complex politics, city management, things like that. Lots and lots of landmark buildings. Landmarks are just so cool. I think that's one of the more fun things in the game, like these specialty buildings you can get and trying to decide, like with Nolan, for instance, like, do I want to try to get that ASAP because I'm going to go for a lot of artillery, even though I have a non-aggression pact with them? Do I want to break that and go for that? They're also allied with the dwarves, so I want to make the dwarves mad. You know, they don't like our treaty with Stirland. Like, that's something to think about. Or do I want to go north and try to get that Karaberg? I think that's the place with the chapter house for those special knights that I want. There's also like some cool stuff up in Midland, and then there's the the port over in Marienburg. Then Talabik Land also has a special landmark building, so there's just cool stuff everywhere, pretty much, that you can get into. And there's so many different ways you can do it as Empire that it's a lot of fun. And some of these people really don't like you very much. Do I want to pay for friendship with Kislev? I can probably already get friends with them, and the thing is you can't confederate with them. I wonder if Kislev could be a Warhammer 3 faction. I wonder if they will add in extra factions from like the old world into the game. It's kind of weird because, like, do you want your game to be standalone? Like, you can get all of the DLC or whatever? I would just give away, honestly, Game 1 and Game 2 when Game 3 releases. That just gets people hyped. That gets people want to buy the new game. And they could revisit, like, revamping stuff like Talia, like some of those southern realms, or Kislev, making them a fully fleshed out faction. They're obviously going to revamp something with Chaos, most likely. Nah, I don't want to spend that kind of gold. I think we're going to be friends with them anyways. I don't think they're going to be mad that we turned this down. Okay, so Carcassonne and Beastmen. Plus, we're going to need this money, most likely. We're going to have to go into some minor debt to try to take out Home Guard. I think the fastest way is through here, right?
Do not waste my potential. I will not obey.
I cannot.
Okay, so they're going to have 9.
Not likely.
It's going to be 18.
I am ready. Are you?
They can only have 1 Empire Knight, I'm pretty sure. So we don't need a ton of spears. Swords in general beat up on spears because they get that extra bonus versus infantry. I might have to go for that bigger sword line. Let's grab 3 swords here.
Yes, that will do.
Because we can't get crossbowmen right now. I mean, maybe that was an argument for going for Honest Steel here instead of Balthasar Gelt with his those hounds. We could send up something like some spears. Let's have a little bit less armor. We could send up like a battalion of the spears just to face tank a bunch of them, just kind of suicide them in there, and then use the hounds around them a couple of times. Just kind of like
You summon men.
suicide some of those units in there. I tried that when I tried that with Balthasar. I tried running him in there and then buffing them up. But we can put Glittering Robe on him as well.
Do not waste my potential.
And then try to aim around him. I don't know. It's certainly going to be interesting. Okay, so Altdorf, we're all good. We're all good here. No techs yet. Talabik Land.
Approach us, friend, and make your
did they
offer.
pay us yet? I don't
No,
know.
sir. Sigma's will. Greetings, my countrymen. Do you come in peace on this fine mark tag? Never.
Let's see if I can just get any kind of money out of these guys.
Surely an agreement will be.
I don't like the Talabik
So-
Land. Sumaster Mark doesn't either.
The Empire.
Sterling.
Greetings on behalf of the Empire. Now what
Man.
brings you here with a sheathed blade?
Backing you up.
What? It is good to see fellow sons of the Empire this day.
Pass on that one.
I am the blood of...
Do you wish the lady's favor?
To war! Welcome, men of the Empire. All right. Wanrag? And what can the Dawi do? To war! Honor to your ancestors. Won't happen. Ready? All here are honored dwarfkin. No reason for it.
Kislev.
Yeah, we're already brought up with kids.
My glacial majesty Katarina.
Let's see if I can get a little cash off them every now and then. Yeah, not happening. Someone will pay us on turn 10 to probably start breaking some of these vampire count peace treaties and things like that. Okay.
I am ready.
Nothing else to do here. Just make sure there's no combat bonus off of that, right? No. Okay. Yeah, this fight's gonna get spicy. Hopefully he recruits over at Isleheart. It says he's recruiting in both places. I think the max he can recruit is 3. They might get an extra recruitment slot on Legendary and be able to recruit 4 to start with. I'm not sure. They going to ambush stance? Okay, so he ran the extra ward up there. Okay, this just enables extra beastmen to come rolling up in the mid to late game. I'm cool with that. Okay.
Sigmar forbids this.
Okay, so they hired 2 there
I refuse.
and a little bit there. So what is that? 7,
No.
10. 19.
Let us begin.
But
Now they are not hiring this turn, notably. They do not have a flag over their head. So I said before, you don't want to hire, like get into just sort of an arms race with hiring because they're just going to win that, right? But right now they're not actually hiring for some reason. I'm not sure why that is, but... How much to upgrade this rally field? It's 1,800. Okay, so we could actually step. Oh, we can't even attack it this turn. Okay, well that makes it easier then. That makes my decision a bit easier. Okay, what are some different? Missile damage, ammo, and missile resistance. Okay. That's something I'm probably interested in. So you can attack in channeling stance. You basically lose 3 melee attack in order to gain 25 winds of magic. I'm definitely down with that. Could go into casualty replenishment. Could raid them. We don't want to raid them because we're probably going to recruit because we can't attack them this turn, which is kind of weird. I thought we would have the movement to do it, but maybe not.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Could go into ambush and see if they come out.
No.
They're definitely not recruiting though.
Let us
Okay,
begin.
let's go to right here. Okay, right here actually seems to be the
Move.
optimal area. Okay. That's we get more replenishment, and then let's hire a couple more units here, I guess. I mean, it's gonna be overkill if we get too much. I guess we could go over and maybe fight this. We need to fight something immediately if we have a 20 stack, because we're gonna be like really low on gold. I guess we can go pick on maybe these guys. I'm gonna knock that out and burn it or something here in a little bit. Dwarves would probably like that.
By the comet.
There's something evil up in. I mean, we could try to go take out Marienburg. It'd be difficult to siege that early on.
I am ready. Are you?
Do we really need 16 units to take them out? I mean, we might. Let's go with, just find some middle ground here. Let's go with 18. That'll put us about at the red zone. Leave us a little bit of wiggle room to get some buildings. Now we want to upgrade that. It does do -10 growth, which kind of sucks, but... Pottery is 100 growth, 20 kilnful. We don't have a lot of trade agreements, but... And this is 102 die. Probably won't upgrade that. We do need some public order as well. Or we could do the fields, would be 10 more growth. Growth is really important. Because we need to try to get to tier 3 to get that gunsmith going. Okay, so that allows handgunners and outriders. Alright. Roads are interesting. It's 5 growth and 10% campaign movement range. How much? And they're pretty cheap, I think. 450. Yeah, they're both 450. So we're basically giving up 5 growth and 25 gold in order to have more campaign movement range. It's a very busy area to try to run through there. Maybe that's worth. We cannot build this. I really want that warrior priest, though. Wonder how much we're able to trade. We only have 1 trade partner right now. I think we'll be able to trade at least like 25% here, if not a little bit more. So we'd probably trade 4 kilnfuls. I think those are like maybe 10 gold each. Probably 140 gold or so. We're not going to have the gold to upgrade a ton of this stuff early. Let's... 900. Yeah, let's just go with this for now. I guess we could go with both. That and a weaving house. Could also go for a stables eventually, although taking down the growth is rough. It's 4 turns for roads, though. That's a long time to come online. We'll do that some other time. Okay, so do we want money or do we want the growth? There's some really nice techs here as well. But we're already going to have access to some good techs. Let's just go for the clothier. Here, and you know, even if we have to delete one of these eventually, if this just sticks around for like maybe 6 turns or so, then we can delete it later and still have made a profit on it. Versus, you know, if we just sit on whatever as stables and don't really do a lot with it, we're actively like hurting our growth. So if you want to get, you know, a military building, you better make use of it. Okay. That's gonna be good. I mean, we could run over and try to siege Marienburg after this, but we can wait to hire some more. I think 18 should be fine to deal with this. Now, if they...
For the Empire SFO 2 playthrough.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Now, if they do hire... You know what? Well, we're actually going to be so short on units. I was about to say, if they complete a building here and grab a couple more units, it's going to be really annoying. But we'll do it, because I do want to make some progress here. So yeah, we're going to be, like, broke. With this stuff coming in. Okay. We looked everywhere. I think we already looked this turn. But I feel like I need to get those 2 extra units just in case they grab a building at Helmgart or something that gives them a couple more units. I can tell they're not recruiting though because it doesn't have the little recruiting thing over their head like this. We might be able to run straight for Marienburg after this. It'd be kind of complicated to siege it, but if we get some siege towers, we just have to wait there for a couple of turns. You know, we might be able to overrun them. But if they have 16 units sitting there, it's not happening. We're going to have mortars before we can do it. So we could just start a fight with Karaberg or something and fight them. We're going to have to fight some with an army this big for sure. We're going to need to get to honest steel pretty quickly. So when it's swordsmen on like this huge stacks of swordsmen versus other huge stacks of swordsmen. Now one reason they added in the extra bonus versus infantry with swordsmen is probably so people stop spamming spears. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Adam actually donated a little bit extra there, who's sponsoring this campaign, actually donated 50. That's awesome. That helps out a ton. Okay, Empire's choices. All right, what do I want? Well, I just recruited. Okay, but we get, what, 5%? Oh, we do get a free warrior priest off of that. For 30 turns. And public order... Plus 20 growth, 10% cost on buildings, and 15% research rate is extremely good, though. I definitely want to do something for a 5% tax rate for sure, because we're not taking in that much taxes right now. Now we've already recruited our army. Basically, we're not going to be recruiting more stuff because we just can't afford more stuff. So. I would like a warrior priest, but I can basically hire one of those. The untainted's not going to matter that much. We're not going to build a lot of shrines. Public order's nice, but we don't have a ton of property for that yet. 30 turns is a long time though. But the growth though, research rate growth and construction costs on buildings is massive. I think build an empire is where we want to be. Skaven layers, whatever. I think every 30 turns you get to switch what you want.
I'll ignore that.
Okay, is he in ambush stance? 'Cause I don't know where he went.
Absolutely
He's
not.
probably in ambush stance, so there's a chance we could get ambushed, which would suck with our artillery. But we can't sit around and wait.
I am the supreme
And I have to go for it. I think I want channeling so we can cast more magic. 3 melee attack, is that worth? 3 melee attack does add up in fights like this.
Let us begin.
So channeling, so what would I be able to do with this? 2 or 3 more hounds? Or glittering robe? I think it's probably worth 3 melee attack. Those hounds can just completely wipe entire battalions. So if I can kill, like, eventually, like, 3 battalions worth with these hounds.
I am ready. Are you?
Is that worth? power reserve, so it's going to take some time to come online, though. Melee attacks. So basically, they're doing 10% less damage, so that I can have a little. So I can have like maybe 20% more magic. It's all going to depend on how well I use the hounds. That's actually a really tough call. Just trying to think of how well I'll be able to use that magic at some point. I think maybe we just go normal stance. We should already have quite a bit. How much Winds of Magic is here? Does it say? Okay, blowing, so there's 0 extra Winds of Magic. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go for it.
I am innocent.
So it's likely they might be trying to ambush us here, but like I said, we can't wait around to find out. We just gotta go.
Ulrich's will.
Oh no, they're over here. Okay. They're actually outside of reinforcement range. Sweet. Why would they do that? I guess they're at war with the other faction as well. Now that dude's on a horse. Is this guy on a horse? Guess not. Alright, let's do it. So that's like gonna be like 2 hounds or so, and I think that hounds should be able to wipe out at least 1 battalion per hound. If I do the sequencing correctly. Now I think I can, do what I was talking about earlier. Throw a swordsman in there. Just sort of a sacrificial swordsman. Clump them all up. Oh, they changed the map. I thought this was supposed to be the crazy forest map. It was like really imbalanced. Okay, this one's not an amazing map for us, but it's better than what I thought we were going to get.
The Empire! By Ulrich's wrath! Finding range, sir! Swordsman!
These guys, yeah, they have 35 defense. 34 defense. Why are we taking a hit? Oh, that's the attack. 32 defense. 35. Okay, so yeah, these are better on the defense. 29 defense, yeah. So it looks like these guys drew the short straw here. Usually, I would like to eventually get the battle wizards too. The battle wizards to go up there and deal with that, but.
Swordsman! We are Sigmar's heirs!
Rock.
We are ready!
Let's go 2, 3.
We serve the Emperor!
Spears in the back, just waiting to deal with the.
Weapons at the ready!
Balthasar guilt.
Glittering Herb's only 5. It does give leadership also, which will help them like not break as fast. Oh my god, the hounds are only 5 for normal hounds, non-overcasted. What do we get for overcast? Wow, I cannot believe it's that cheap. Holy what? It's randomly moving area of effect. But if we overcast it, I think it lasts longer and it's a larger effect. For 10, which I think we want to do that version of it. We can also cast Searing Doom on that as well. Okay. So we want to get the Outriders up here to just try to harass.
Yes, quickly!
Crank that machine!
Quick march!
What are they doing?
At speed! To battle! Moving now! Lingering! Taking...
Ready for war! Yes, sir! Quickly!
Formation!
For the Warhammer!
No, right here, right here, right here.
At speed! To battle!
Take the ground!
Show us the foe!
Bow before me!
We can just throw one hound in there while they're waiting. What's the range on the hound? It's not very far though. If he was on like a horse or something, it'd be a lot easier.
State troops ready! Through to cannons! Swordsmen! Yes, sir!
They're coming
Quickly!
up anyways.
To battle! Outriders!
God, all these hills are so
Formation!
bad
March! In
for
range!
what we're trying to do.
Spearmen! Strike them down! Swordsmen! Yes, sir! Go! Understood! Moving now! Ah! We obey! By Ulrich's wrath! Yes, sir! Quickly! Ah! At speed! Moving now!
Emperor's might!
Crossbows ready, General! Get them! Great swords! To battle!
Gold magic! Armor melts!
We obey!
Obey! Go! Full and stop! Haste gold magic! They'll never move again!
No lingering! War! For Heldenhammer! Sigma!
I am master of Shadow! We are Sigmar's heirs!
Great swords! By Galmaraz!
Dang, this guy's held out for a long time.
March! Free company! Take position!
I am supreme!
Great swords! Swordsman! The Empire endures!
Outriders!
No lingering! Crossbowmen! We serve the Emperor! Pick your targets!
Feel my heart!
Take the ground! Fire! To battle! Formation! March! Free company! Taking position! The Empire endures! Go! Go! By Galmaraz! Spearmen, prepare for combat! Taking position!
Yeah, let's see if we can get a lot of them out of there. Sorry, bros. Y'all drew the low straw here.
I am master of Shadow!
In range! Understood! Quick march! Go! Quick march! We obey! Swordsman! Ready for war! Yes, sir! Quickly! To battle! Swordsman! Sigma! Heldenhammer!
Cavalry ready! Yes, sir, quickly! Hammers ready! Attack!
Free company! My Garveras! By Ulrich's wrath! Formation! On!
Outriders!
For the twin-tailed comet! Free company! For Heldenhammer!
For Heldenhammer! Armor melts!
Free company! Take the ground!
For the Emperor!
Spearmen!
Now! At speed!
Swordsman!
Ready!
Awaiting orders! Yes, my lord!
Outriders!
Outriders out of there. We're getting busted up.
Militia!
The Empire endures!
Ready! We are Sigmar's heirs!
Okay, we should get them.
Fight them!
We actually did not even lose all of our swordsmen. I thought that we might. Yeah, he's gonna die.
At speed!
I mean, we killed almost 400 with those hounds. Okay, yeah, hounds are legit. So you just have to throw like one swordsman in there just to kind of eat a bunch of the shots
Free company! To battle!
and just throw those hounds down. How much
Ready!
are they for the overcast? 12.
The Emperor will save us!
So it just lasts a lot longer. Does it do increased damage? Yeah, major magical damage and then large randomly moving thing. Okay. So you can cast it for cheaper. Does it cost still 30 seconds if you overcast it? 60 seconds. Okay. So we could do smaller short casts of them and try that out if we wanted to. That costs less magic. Yeah, we still had 50 magic left at the end.
Free company!
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, so the hound upgrade, definitely worth. Yeah, it's mostly mortars and hounds. Like, these things, they just don't do a lot of damage. Crossbowmen did pretty well, too. Yeah, mortars are for real. I mean, 500 or 600 damage or whatever they do, like, is a lot. Like, they seem like they're junk units. Like, oh, they can't really aim that well, and they have huge explosion radiuses, though. And they're only, like, 200 gold. They get kills, though, because of that spread. Because entity sizes are a lot larger in Steel Faith. So that means that, and that's why a lot of these units will have more more HP, is because there's just a lot more entities. So swordsman, I think there's like 150 in a stack, and I think in the base game it's like 100 or 120 or something. So I mean, their main job. So we did lose one swordsman. Their main job is, you know, just to kind of soak stuff. We eventually want to get, like, more crossbow. Nice. You do get some really good followers. Oh, Wand of Jet. That's awesome. It's not the best caster item out there, but it's really good. Gives you a lot of extra regeneration. I thought it just said I got a bunch of scribes and stuff. Am I crazy? Scribe for Balthasar Gelt. I guess they just aren't there yet. That must be what it is. They're coming in next turn. Oh, we got a scribe. I thought we had something else before that.
Let us begin.
Okay, so now we have to choose where we want to go. I think Inspiring Presence is worthwhile for sure. I mean, Transmutation to Lead, like, all of this stuff is good for sure, including Magical Reserves. But we're not even using all of our magic just yet. And we do need some of these things. I think we aren't close to using our ammo either in these fights. So Emperor's Finest is definitely, like, a possibility. Just trying to think of, like, what we're going to do down the line. I feel like, how much is so 1,500, if we close on 15% rather, would give us 450 gold per turn if we get the 15% discount on a bunch of units. So do we want that, or do we want more crossbowman stuff? This stuff doesn't affect missile infantry stuff there. Recruit rank, eventually it'd be pretty good. We'd get a livery fairly early. Figure loss reduction for Cav is good. So we kind of have to piecemeal choose which units we want the upkeep reduction on. Artillery stuff is definitely something I'm interested in, but you can't get to that until you get to like the tier 4 engineer's workshop, aside from ammunition logistics. So if we do want to plan ahead, we could go for Imperial Gunnery. And or Pistol Corps. I mean, Emperor's Finest is good. You know, they're not... My units are not going to do a lot of damage. It's mostly for the 8 melee defense. I mean, maybe going more into magic is worth. Metal shifting. Just the... Do we... This is good. 5 melee defense and leadership. That could actually be pretty legit. For a 1-point wonder. So we get the 5 leadership here, and then the 5 leadership over here, maybe. This is good for, like, you know, huge infantry lines, which we're not really doing that right now. Final Transmutation is good against lords, for sure. But we can just fire out the lords. I think maybe just go in for Pistol Corps here. Either Pistol Corps or Gunnery. Or we could go Leader of Renown with Root Marcher. I wish I could see just how much stuff like Marienburg has. What's their garrison look like? It's pretty damn good. It's 14 garrison. I don't think we're doing that without without mortars.
Who calls?
Okay. I think we'll just go for Inspiring Presence and then maybe work Pistol Corps here. Because the mortars are going to take how much growth do we have? 85 growth. Well, it's only 4 more turns, so we can get up to tier 3. If we save all of our money. We can get there pretty quick in like 6 turns or so. I know I was saying the red tree wasn't that good, but maybe it's better than I think.
Ready. Are you?
For some of the ranged stuff. With this particular strategy that I'm using. Maybe we do just go for Imperial Gunnery. Saving the money is a big deal. It's just like this stuff doesn't gonna matter that much. It's like 4. This doesn't matter, so you're wasting like 4 points. Lightning Strike doesn't matter yet, although it will eventually. And then Quartermaster, so that's 6 points with Quartermaster. Whereas what we really need is like combat effectiveness right now with this one army. So I think the best way to get that might just be Pistol Corps. Let's do that because we're about to be able to get crossbowmen here soon. One more turn, we get some crossbowmen. Switch some of these out. Maybe get rid of a couple of these swordsmen. Or we could trade like crossbowmen out for these. How much are crossbowmen? Yeah, they're barely more, and they're just. I mean, these are nice because they're flexible, but they don't have that arcing shot. You really don't want a lot of gunpowder type of units, the straight line shot units, because they get in each other's way. Because they can't shoot over each other. They can't shoot through your infantry line, and they're blocked by hills. So like your handgunner type of stuff, you really don't want a lot of those. Like maybe 1 or 2, but other than that, you really want to just go for the crossbowmen. Especially with Plague of Rust, these become way, way more effective at taking out groups of units, just because they don't have very much armor-piercing damage. But they have pretty respectable base damage, 28 base. So if you knock the armor off of people, like Plague of Rust does, then those become a lot better. Okay, so we'll plan on that. Over here, don't need this. And then we're just going to rush up to mortars ASAP. Now, do these buildings give public order? Not yet. At the higher levels, yes, they do give growth and public order. So we do, after we get this to level 3, we need to start leveling these up. We don't want to rush to tier 4 because we can't afford a lot of that stuff yet. But we do want to go to level 3, and then we want to start leveling these up at level 3. That'll help out with the public order issue. We're going to have to fight 1, maybe 2 rebellions over here. Let's see if anyone else.
My hand hovers close to my blade.
Do anything
Yes.
over here.
It is good to see, fellow.
Yes? Greetings on behalf of
Like
the
we're
Empire.
killing people for
Now
you,
what
man.
brings you here with a sheathed blade?
They don't like our great powerness. That was so weird with high elves, like great
calls?
power.
Deliver your missive and then get from my...
People ended up liking you
The
for it, which
Empire.
I was saying
Who
in that
calls?
campaign. I was like, why?
Approach and make your offer.
Doesn't make any sense. Okay, well,
What?
looks like we're just gonna kill everybody. And
Greetings
we're gonna
on
have to
behalf
get
of the
diplomacy
Empire.
with somebody. We're gonna have to get a confederation with somebody. It
The
probably end up
Empire.
being Sterling after the vampire counts
Surely
are
an agreement
about to
will be
kill him.
reached.
I think that's probably
Who calls?
how we're likely to get Carl.
I will listen, but my time is short.
We're just gonna have to kill everyone
All
else,
right.
probably. We're at great power with 3 towns. Come on. Okay, and then we'll try to get our
I am
trade
the
in
blood.
with
Do you
Bretonia.
wish the lady's favor?
Champion of the... Welcome. How fares the Emperor?
Valiant lord.
Why can't we trade with
The
Basketball?
laws of chivalry demand I hear you. Ask a peasant.
I'll murder you eventually, boy. Okay. Don't want to kill the dwarfs.
Kislev. My glacial majesty Katarina bids you welcome to Kislev.
Part of Legion. Alright. Now, if we start killing vampire counts, I mean, that is another strategy we could do. We could try to play nice with Karaberg and then go south and kill vampire counts. Killing them will help our diplomacy significantly with a lot of these other factions, because Nuln doesn't like... I've never tried that strategy before. Maybe that's a good way to go if I do want to get to Nuln. Now, artillery historically is not amazing against vampire counts, but just because they have so many units, like so many zombies and skeletons, you really need... missile units are also not very good against them. So, I don't know. It's kind of a tough matchup. You kind of want things like great swords, or like honest steel, at least upgraded infantry to deal with them. But I don't know. I mean, maybe with the hounds, you know, and enough like crossbowmen, maybe we could hold them off.
Sigma's will.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna look at Wiesenland here real quickly. Don't like our treaties with Sterling. They don't care about vampire counts.
All right.
Why is that going down? It's a great power.
It is good to see, fellow.
Okay, well, let's see. Got all our buildings. Should be good to go. Take out Allhart next, and then we have to fight something. Either Karaberg or Marienburg. We'll take a look. If Marienburg is out, like messing with Blackstone Post or something, we might be able to deal with that. I don't see why I can't trade with Bastogne. Is it because this is considered Carrick Ziflin property through these mountains? I mean, I could also just go kill Bastogne. I've never tried going after the Bretonians over there, but it's a possibility. They just don't have those unique buildings. I think going for Karaberg just probably makes the most sense. Then I should get those mortars just in time to go for Midland. Turns for no war on Marienburg. That's interesting. For 3,000 gold? That's a hell of a long time though. That also means, however, they can't go to war with me. They do have a nice port. So I could confederate with them. This would give me 20 diplomatic relations, and ostensibly they wouldn't declare war on me either. They do like my treaties with Bretonia. We aren't earning a lot from trade, but okay. I mean, there's other people I can fight, mostly Midland and Nordland. And we get a nice infusion of cash there. And that's ostensibly, like I said, they also won't declare war on me, so that's helpful. That's one less enemy I have to mess with. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I do like the Marienburg port, but at the same time, there's plenty of stuff to fight out there, so just leaving them alone that's fine. That's kind of cool. They, like, added in all these extra, like, this is not in the base game, I don't think. Like, all of these extra little choices that you make. Oh, I didn't notice we got -20 with Nordland, but whatever. F them. Now, we're probably going to be fighting Nordland anyways because of, because we're going to be fighting Midland. So, and these guys don't like that either, probably because we just made Nordland mad. Yeah, recent events with Marienburg. So that's down a little bit, and Nordland really doesn't like it. It's fine, we'll kill him. Marienburg still doesn't like us very much, but
Sigma's will. Greetings, my countrymen.
their strength rank tells me they're number 3 on the map, so they probably are sitting there with a 20 stack right now in their town. Midland is number 5 on the map. So they probably have some serious stuff too. Where are vampire counts usually start a bit lower, but then oftentimes vampire counts can get to number 1 pretty quickly.
Never.
Okay. I mean, I want to just go finish off Isleheart. Helmgart. And these things are injured, so I'm a little worried that if I leave,
Impossible.
these guys
Not
might
possible.
take Helmgart back, and I really don't want to deal with that. So this is going to count as trespassing against those people, Montfort or whatever. What do we want over here? Minus 3% upkeep is pretty legit. How much are we paying? 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 at about 150 each. So yeah, that would probably give us, like over 2,000 gold in upkeep. It says all infantry, which would include greatswords ostensibly, right? Yeah, not just tier 1, all infantry. So yeah, I mean, that's basically 3% off my whole army, just about. So that would be like 80 gold or something. Plus move speed. And of course that goes up over time. Yeah, I think so. I mean, the extra ranks are nice. If I want to wait 6 turns to hire crossbowmen, that could be handy. These are all like fairly good. Ammo is nice, but no extra damage. Can I wait that long on crossbows? I think I can probably wait that long. 6 turns. I think we're strong enough as is. Let's go ahead and grab that. The sooner we get that, the better for the extra ranks. Okay.
Do not waste
Far
my
Legion.
potential.
I guess very much.
I am the blood of Gilles.
I mean, we're gonna have to
Let
chase
the
these fugitives, man.
supplicant
I don't
come
know.
forward.
Who do they have? So they don't like Scalings and Skull Smashers. Okay. Does Marienburg want to trade?
All right,
Don't think so.
I will listen, but my time.
Okay.
The nation calls.
Alright, let's kill him.
Yes,
He's gonna run, then I'm gonna have to trespass over here to kill him.
it is best to move.
I mean, we could come over here and grab some Baston stuff that would allow us to trade with the other Bretonnians. I don't understand why we can't trade with them in the first place. Oh, it's because the Secessionists own this plot of land. Okay, that's what it is then. They only have 2 towns. I mean, we could come over here and just kill them. It is green territory for me. We'll see how they feel about it, but I gotta run this down.
Let us begin. By the comet.
Oh, dang, we're already at 104. We did have one good fight this episode.
Moving off.
I thought we already had militiamen.
I am the
From
supreme
earlier.
patriarch.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining stuff.
You summon me.
We do need to get Root Marcher very soon, but... And we could just knock out Montfort if we really wanted to.
I am ready.
It would allow us to trade with these dwarves, too. How do they feel about that? The Secessionists are obviously a huge priority right now. But they don't have anything left. Baston. They're not fond of it. I like our treaties with dwarves. Now they are not military allied with anybody's now. I mean, that could be kind of, could be on the risky side for sure.
Do not waste my potential.
No, Secessionists don't have any army right now. No, they are dunzo. They just have a tier 2 town. So we do need to kill them before they get in the army. Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
I am
That's
the
fine.
Supreme Patriarch. That's what we on march.
Intriguing option. But we'll keep it on hold for now. Okay, don't need to recruit anything else. We're saving up one more turn for that. Okay, Helmgart. I think just throw down some money. I mean, the growth is very nice as well. That does, I mean, how much money are we getting? Getting 500 per turn. We're gonna be fighting a lot of battles here soon. I mean, extra growth does let us grow these up faster, which will allow us to get the public order buildings and eventually stabilize the public order. Because it'll give 1 for the upgrade if we go to tier 2, and we can put in the 4 public order this thing in there. So maybe the growth is worth, and then of course eventually that will allow us to get to tier 4, where we do have some pretty good stuff at tier 4 that we want to get to. Most notably the demigryphs. But,
you summon me.
money's always good, though. Gotta have money to pay for these upgrades. I guess the upgrades themselves will be fairly quick. It only takes 1 growth to upgrade them. Let's just go with this. Growth is really important, but it's like 10% extra growth. That'll be slightly faster growth. The upgraded towns also give extra growth, right? Yeah. These base towns are so strong. It's not as much gold as some other places, but the fact that it gives a public order and a little bit of growth is really, really nice. Well, we're going to be getting a lot off of like post-battle loot and things like that. Maybe we just go for the growth. Let's just go for the growth. We can take down the growth later, but let's just crank that growth out for now. Well, we're going to be at 100. Overtime. Need money for the building. No. Let's just sorry, I'm kind of wavering back and forth on that. All right, and that's going to be it for this episode. Like, what I'm thinking about is how, like, we already have 95 growth. We're going to take another town here in a second, which is going to give us 105 growth. And so how much is, like, the extra 10% growth? That means every 10 turns we get 1 turn faster, you know, worth of growth, potentially. How fast do we really need the tier 4 is what it comes down to. And because tier 4 units and buildings are very expensive also, so it's not just getting there, it's being able to afford it. And I think putting that money to work to just expand the empire, go fight Karaberg, you know, buy all those mortars, buy the mortar building, all that is, I think the money is the more limiting resource than the growth right now. And we don't want to be sitting on a lot of extra growth. I doubt that'll happen, but... Oh, what? They went to war with me? Okay. So I got 3,000 free gold, and they went to war with me anyways. Alright. Touche, Marienburg. Touche. Okay, well, I guess we're going for Marienburg.
Yes.
So in sieges, you know, we want a lot of crossbowmen. I don't think we can siege Marienburg until we get mortars, though, which isn't that far away. 2 more turns so we can start upgrading this. And then the mortar... So this is going to take 4 turns, and the mortar building takes 7 turns. So in like 9 turns, we can have mortars ready to go. And for this, we're going to need 2,800 gold, 3,600 for the port, and then 4,500 for this. So we need like 10,000 gold. We're going to have a rebellion here in a second also. What is that? Tax rates down. Okay.
I cannot.
We can vassalize factions too with Steel Faith, but anyways, we'll talk about that next time. So thank you very much once again. Special thanks to Adam for the generous donation, especially for that extra little bit of cash in there. The $50 for the campaigns, fantastic. That helps out a ton. That's still a really good bargain. I mean, I put about an hour per episode. I think pretty exciting content. I try to take, you know, really good fights. I try to explain stuff in depth so you can understand what's going on out there, anyone watching, and then also you can apply it to your own campaigns to enjoy yourself a little bit more, maybe step up the difficulty a little bit more. So hopefully enjoy it. If you would like to sponsor the next campaign out there, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. The baseline rate is just $20 for a campaign. If you want to donate more than that, that's great. It does take about 20 hours. So, you know, I'm working like third world country wages here, like an hour an episode. I love doing it, though. I like making content for the channel. And just getting a little bit of extra diaper money on the side is fantastic if people want to help support with that. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Stay tuned for the next episode. Should be coming out tomorrow. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.